Hey guys, today we're breaking down the latest K-drama Good Boy. The episode opens in a city overwhelmed with crime, where the police are failing to maintain control and the public is losing faith, voicing criticism across media. Then we meet our main character, Dongju, a former Olympic boxing gold medalist who now works as a police officer. His introduction is comedic. He's shouting in frustration after a bird poops on him. Soon after, he receives a message calling him into the police station. We cut to another character, Mansik, a wrestling medalist, also heading to the station. On his way, he overhears news coverage criticizing the police force just before his car tire blows out. Meanwhile, we meet Commissioner Paniol, who's fuming over a newspaper article featuring his own photo and lashes out at his subordinates for underperforming. Mansik arrives and Paniol aggressively asks where he's been before kicking him. Chief Gongcheol, another important figure, steps out to meet Mansik, who's looking at his car. Gongcheol hands him a card for repairs and brings up the case of the Golden Bunny. He instructs Mansik to hand the case over to Detective Day and suggests recruiting Dongju to their team. Mansik resists, reminding Gongcheol that Dongju was demoted for beating up corrupt colleagues. Gongcheol defends Dongju, noting he only acted because those officers were taking bribes. We flash to the incident itself before returning to Dongju, who's now at a pawn shop owned by a man named Gamnam. Dongju wants to sell his medal. Gamnam inspects it suspiciously, prompting Dongju to bite it and compare it to an old photo, proudly proving his identity. He gets the money and leaves. Meanwhile, we're introduced to another main character, Gina, a gold medalist in shooting. Paniol films a stage scene of her taking down a criminal for public relations. Gongcheol arrives to speak with her, but she tells him this will be her last such operation. Paniol, now in his car, talks with someone about launching an operation to catch Golden Bunny. Gina is at work, but her colleagues eye her with judgment. She wants to attend a meeting, but one hands her a case file, telling her to review it first. Elsewhere, the operation begins and Dongju is a part of it. Mansik meets him, only to find Dongju jumping around, saying he's working out to catch Bunny. Mansik tells him to calm down. Nearby, Gongcheol and his team wait for a lead. A gang member shows up, picks up clothes at a shop, which turns out to be a setup. A shot rings out. He realizes it's a trap and yells for his boss to run. We finally see the infamous Bunny, whose real name is Sangin, fleeing the scene. Dongju and Mansik are unaware of the chaos. Mansik excuses himself to use the toilet, and Bunny ends up hiding in that very spot. He locks Mansik inside, walks out, and encounters Dongju. But Dongju hesitates. He's not the fighter he once was. Bunny knocks him out with a mirror after revealing his gold teeth and escapes. When Mansik finally emerges, everyone realizes Bunny got away due to their slip-up. Next, we meet Jahong, a traffic officer and former medalist, helping kids cross the street. He saves a child from a speeding car, but back at the station, his colleagues scold him for not catching the driver. Jahong explains the license plate was fake and undetectable. Others gossip about his past failure to catch a gang, which led to his demotion. Back to Dongju and Mansik. They're being reprimanded by Day for letting Bunny escape. Jahong meets Dongju, gives him a sticker for a cut on his face, and then Dongju spots Gina looking at a photo she drops. He picks it up, follows her, and playfully calls her an old nickname. She tells him not to tease her and asks why he's here since he was demoted. He asks if she still cares about him, admits he still likes her, and asks if that's okay. She walks away, but before anything escalates, a flashy entrance interrupts. Jong Han, a fencing medalist and Gina's ex-boyfriend, arrives. He wants to talk, but Gina brushes him off. Later, Dongju visits a noodle restaurant owned by Mi Ja. He asks about Gongil, who now works at a security company under a man named Jonggu, who used to coach Dongju. Dongju checks out Gongil's old room and reminisces over photos. At the station, Dongju messages Gongil, asking to talk. He reflects on the past, sitting endured outside the ring, Gina once silently tended to his wounds with a sticker. Now, Gina finds her photo with the same sticker and smiles, realizing it came from Dongju. Dongju and Mansik head to meet the new audit officer, only to discover it's Jonghan. At the cafeteria, Mansik watches Jonghan and Gina together and speculates about their relationship. Dongju dismisses it. Soon, Dae confronts Jonghan, accusing him of being hired just for his swordsmanship and blaming him for multiple suspensions and demotions. Jonghan calmly responds, saying he was just doing his job. Gina later confirms she already knew Jonghan would be joining, having seen the documents earlier. When he asks if she's curious why he came, she brushes it off, warning him not to behave like they're close or rumors will spread. Dongju and Mansik wait in a car until Gongcheol arrives. Dongju is left waiting all night while Mansik spars with Panyol. Dongju, overheating in the car, steps outside to cool down and gets hit by a car. The driver tries to flee while Dongju hangs onto the window, eventually getting thrown off. He then catches two men stealing gas for their bike and follows another figure to a dead body, revealed to be Jinsu. At the hospital, Dongju consoles the family. Mansik arrives to fetch him, but Dongju insists on taking a cab. Dongju hides in the station bathroom, photographing his injuries. Mija calls, saying she can't reach Gongil. Dongju tries contacting Gongil but fails. He finds an invitation to a security event run by Jonggu. There, Gina and Jonghan are already present. Dongju confronts Jonggu about Gongil, accusing him of providing drugs. A flashback reveals Jonggu once tried recruiting Dongju to his team, promising money, which Dongju refused. Later, a doping scandal surfaces, falsely accusing Dongju of using painkillers. In the present, Dongju tells Jonggu he won fair and square, but Jonggu shrugs, saying the world thinks otherwise. Gina tells Dongju to prove her wrong if he still has skills. Dongju starts training again, obsessing over the car that hit him. He eventually realizes it matches a photo he once saw. He sneaks into Dae's office to confirm the evidence. Mansik catches him, but they play it cool when others enter. Dongju tells him that Jinsu was an informant who had records on Bunny's buyers, but not the car. They vow to find it, though Mansik warns they lack proof. Bunny plans to escape via boat, but is summoned by his boss for another job. Gina receives Jinsu's belongings and is told to deliver them to the family. Dongju at the hospital rushes off after a call. Gina follows later. Meanwhile, Jonghan reviews the operation video, realizing fire broke out exactly 5 minutes after being reported, suggesting an insider. Gina returns home with Jinsu's belongings, only to be attacked by men looking for documents. She locks herself inside and arms herself. At the same time, Gamnam warns Mansik about suspicious activity at a paint factory, the same location Dongju mentioned. Mansik rushes to get Dae's backup, but Dae challenges him to beat him in a wrestling match first. At the factory, Dongju confronts both versions of Bunny, gold and silver. He demands to know who bought the mysterious car. Bunny mocks him, prompting Dongju to threaten to knock out his golden teeth. A brawl ensues. Jonghan, meanwhile, spots a tattooed man and connects him to Dae's earlier cryptic warning. Jahong spots the rogue car again and throws a discus to stop it, showing off his medalist roots. Gina fends off the attackers, protecting the documents. And with that, episode 1 ends. Stay tuned for episode 2. Until next time, bye.